us. Remember, new episodes premiere every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8 p.m. on TV 15 and across other social media platforms.
I'm Jasenia Lassiter, wishing you a wonderful week.
Stay friendly, St. Martin.
Welcome to Late Night Show. Hope everything is okay. Hope everything is all right. I'm your host, Andrew Dick. Okie dokie, kids, what's happening on the lovely island of St. Martin? We begin with, again, the, whatchamacallit? Job fair? We're going to call it the job fair? Yes? We're not going to call it anything else but a job fair because, for sure, you know, a lot of people was hired on the spot. Okay, no, there wasn't. But wait, no, a lot of people received, callbacks right away. No, not yet, because it happened yesterday. So just wait to the phone. Wait by the phone. They're going to call. Okay? They're going to call you. Don't worry. But in any case, I saw a video online which was by Miss Kokomok. I don't know. The girl with the nice eyes. I don't know. But it was very interesting. It was nice. She said exactly what everybody was thinking. Pete, play that for me.
Hi guys, I came to give my review on job fair. I've never been to a job fair, but I had a completely different idea in my head. I thought it would be like, you know, in, out, you put your resume where you're interested and they would do like a short interview or, you know, and then if they're interested, they would call you for like a second interview. But this was a lot. So we arrived there at 9. And to my surprise, there was a whole tent with an airco, but the airco wasn't really working or it was not cold enough. So like there's a lot of people sitting on a tent that's covered and it's hot. So we standing by the door thinking like, you know, we're the first ones there. But they were like, okay, it's 9:37 and we still can't enter because a lot of businesses showed up late. All 9:37, they're still walking in. So that was like, bruh, time is money. So that was a little bit of a turn off because a lot of people had on heels, long sleeve, people were sweating, it was hot. And you know your mood won't get influenced by that because you come to a job interview, your mind have to be calm and collected, you got to know what you're doing, and instead you're sitting outside sweating. So that wasn't such a good start. And then they were like, okay, you guys can come. So now we gone in, start giving name and thing. They're like, no, the people in the tent is first. So we're like, okay, so we had to go back outside. The people in the tent came, and then they had people who were VIPs that apparently did the course of learning how to write a resume and how to do your job interview. So they got a VIP pass to enter first. Now I would like to say, I'd like to commend the staff of Labor and Division Affairs because it's not their fault. They're just doing the job, you know. They were very friendly and attentive, but the whole thing was a confusion. After the ones in the tent went in, then the ones that were standing had to go in the tent. So and that was hot. We sitting down waiting. And then when it was our turn to go in, they were like, okay, so you're registering online now, and you scan the barcode. And to my surprise, a lot of different vacancies pops up compared to what I had seen from the one that was going around for weeks. So I'm like, but this is new stuff. So I start adding, you know, and not realizing that when you reach to the door, what you put in that is not what you had to say. So like I went in mind with like, I said 3 things to register for, but I filled in like 7 on the new list. So by the time I reached there, I couldn't remember what was on the new list because it didn't save. So I only gave the 3 names I could remember. And then they wrote it on a sticky note, and the sticky notes were color coded. Then you had to go sit down in like a little section, and then they was like, okay, you got number 5, but then if a VIP comes in front of you, you gotta wait. So I was like number 5 for like an hour, and then it would be like, okay, so I'm next, so I'm waiting, and then a VIP walks in and they're like, oh, sorry, miss. Oh, one of them called me sweetie. Sorry, sweetie. VIP is here, so you gotta wait. Some couple of VIPs went in front, but I feel like they could have probably done like from 8 to 10 the VIPs and everybody else from 10 to 4 because it didn't make no sense that you went early and then somebody shows up at 11 and they still go before you. Like, how does that make sense? Like, you know, you have your day plan, you have things to do. We're not sitting there for fun. So it was all over the place. And then sometimes you're sitting at a desk and then it's like, oh, I'm sorry, they can't talk to you because you ain't got a sticky note. I've seen that happen. Because you got a sticky note, you move to the side. And there's also where I went to a table where they had like, let's say 13. When I reached there, they only had 4 available. So I was like, but what happened to the one that I wanted to apply for? He was like, yeah, you know, they've been running for a long time. They're already filled. All we have is open is 4 now. So I feel like a lot of this was just showing up for showing up's sake, but they didn't really have jobs available. Maybe some, not all. I can't talk for all. I only could talk about where I went. There was also one where I went where the lady was like, yo, oh, like, that's nice. I'll take your resume. But the job is still going to come out in the paper. We're not hiring on the spot. And she said when it comes out in the paper, then we'll make a selection based on who fits best. And for me, it's like, yeah, we all know how this works. When you apply for jobs in St. Martin, they're usually already filled. We're just here for the fun. So that's already the indication that I got, and she just confirmed it. So I was like, okay, no problem. And so basically, yeah, I had one that was successful, I would say, you know, that actually asked questions and gave you know, that was really professional. But then they were like, you sitting there, people balling out on the mic, welcome this one, welcome that one, you have to stop talking to hear what it's saying. It was all over the place. There are no privacy screens, people standing up right here while I'm talking, can hear my business. I didn't like that. I was not comfortable. Certainly wasn't set up for people with anxiety, for sure. I can tell you that much. I had a lot going on. So by the time you reach by the table, you don't forget what it is you came for, to be honest. Yeah. So I just wanted to share that. And I would for the next time, my suggestion would be that you put a box by each company for people who want to apply anyway. You gotta sit and do. I thought these interviews gonna be like 3 minutes max, 10 minutes max. Sometimes you're waiting all 20 minutes because it's like you need to put a general box for those who can't stay, that they could drop their resume. You figure out what's finance, what's building, what's this, what's cashiers, and you share them up among the companies. Let them go through it and let them get back to the people. Because not everybody have all day to sit there. Because you may think you're just coming in for coming in sake, you know, and you end up there 3-4 hours. So I think they could make a couple of adjustments to make it easier on the people. So
You see what I mean? You hear what she said? Yeah, so it was organized. Like, you notice you always have to say something positive first because you don't want to look like a hater. So you have to say, well, you see, the thing is, I really appreciate the people from the Labor Department because they're doing what they have to do. However, they don't know how to organize things. I was like, which one is it? They're either doing a good job or they're doing a bad job. But, you know, St. Martin people, we always like to give compliments and then destroy your entire character after. And anyway, this is me doing it. I would like to thank the Labor Department for doing such a wonderful, job fair. I think these type of opportunities are important for young and old and those who are looking for new opportunities. So therefore, I commend you and take my hats off to the well-organized, okay, no, that's a lie, to the event for putting it on. Whoever was in charge of saying, okay, so we're going to put them in a tent outside, even though the AC ain't working 100%, we're going to put them in a tent, and then we're going to put them in a line. And then whose idea it was to come up with this whole VIP thing? How in the living hell? You got people there from 7 o'clock in the morning standing up. And then people coming at 11, 10 o'clock just busting, going like, I got a VIP card, sorry. I want to fight somebody. And then you have to be calm talking to these people, and they go like, short temper much. No. People messing with you because you're not going to come in front of me because you have some card, because you did some online course, so you got first preference. No, We all in the same thing. We all don't got a job. So guess what? Whoever can reach there first, reach first. Employers, yeah, I didn't forget you. I didn't forget you. How you are going to reach to a job fair late? How you going to reach at a job fair late? How is that even possible? How can that even happen? Because Sebastian is a real place? You think so? And then when you're late, you come, you sit down, you're like, okay, tell me all about yourself. And then you go like, do you come on time to the job? Because we need you to be on time, you know that, right? I will not be able to keep a straight face. I say, the same time you gonna reach at work, I gonna reach. Because clearly you don't reach on time at a job fair. Show examples for God's sake. How at 9:30 people have to come out from the labor department going like, so some companies are running a bit late, you know, because they had to do something at the office. Also, they didn't know the job fair was going to happen on when it was? Wednesday. Yeah. You didn't know it was going to happen. So you didn't plan. You didn't put make an email calendar. You know, those things work, right, Al? And also just, you know, pay attention to a little reminder. Put a reminder in your phone, and then you'll be on time for the job fair since you want to hire employees. I'm just saying, it works. Anyway, government time. The coalition is still going strong. 9 persons are still supporting this incoming government. We have the screening process that's taking place. Of course, the infighting is taking place, but who cares? Because some people ain't talking to some people. Yeah, I heard about it. Sorry, I just hear things. My bad. But it's okay. We don't care. Stick it out. Stay focused. And let's get this thing going. Because you see that Curacaulian man called Luc Mercelina? This man is so savage. And then somebody's supposed to say, how savage is he? He will call back elections on all you mothers. Like he would call back elections again. You know what? I do not think that this thing is working. Therefore, we are going back to the polls. Because this coalition is corrupted. Why? Because they're trying to squeeze them out. Exclusive. Anyway, so look, please, no, we ain't going back to the polls. Behave yourself. And also, very important, coalition members, if you're going to get rid of Luke, get rid of him while he's off island. Then he can't, you know, do the whole Article 69. It's 69 or 59? I'm thinking about the wrong thing. In any case, please do not do anything with Luke here on the island because he will call. And you remember, when he called back elections, he can't take it back. The missionary prime minister is the one that can still call elections. I know some pundits out there was arguing with me, like, don't argue with me. I did my research. He's the only one who could call it. He don't need the council of ministers. He don't need the coalition members. He don't need the governor. He just needs to present it, and the governor would have to sign once, you know, everything is done correctly. So DP, PFP, Sam, behave. Jeez. This is like a dictatorship, man. Welcome to South St. Martin. Get it? South Korea. Anyway, welcome to the show. We have a good one for you. Let's begin.
You've dreamt it. You've worked hard for it. And now you've got it. You deserve to enjoy the fruits of your labor and know that you're covered in case of a disaster, like an unexpected fire or a vehicular collision. At Magic Insurances, we focus on settling your claims quickly and fairly so you can get back to enjoying your life. Magic Insurances, fast, fair, and always there.
New Gen. She my gang. Let's get ready for the party. Girl, why your body? Get ready for the party. Girl, why your body? Let's get ready for the party. Girl, why your body? Get ready for the party. Girl, why your body? Where the party tonight? Someone tell me where the party tonight. Where the party tonight? Someone tell me where the party tonight. Where the party tonight? Anytime I see a girl, you want to get with bun like a cigarette, bend down, daga next. Slap up on your body, girl, shake up your leg, bun like a cigarette, bend down, daga next. Slap up on your body, girl, shake up your leg. Everybody get mad.
At GEBE, we take the safety and quality of your water seriously. Every day, our dedicated sample collectors venture into the field, visiting the places that matter to you: water tanks, school, supermarkets, home, and high-risk areas. Once these samples return to our water quality lab at KB, they embark on a journey that safeguards your well-being. Our dedicated analysts take over, sending these samples to the microbiology and chemistry departments, respectively. This is where the magic happens. We test for a range of parameters, and we do this every single day, no matter what, including holidays and weekends. In our microbiology department, we focus on two major tests targeting various bacteria. Confirmation tests are conducted, and we have plans in place in case the results are confirmed. And then we do it all over again, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Rain or shine, your water safety never takes a day off. So when you turn on the tap and enjoy a glass of GEBE's water, you can do so with confidence. GEBE, the power to serve.
For your old school flashback or flashback old school, it's the same thing. It's a flashback. Relax.
Flashback.
And we begin with the news of Dr. Luke Mercelina versus the governor of St. Martin. You see in the pictures side by side? That's them right there. One is the formateur, which is the formation guy. And the next one is the Dutch. I mean, the governor. I mean, the crown. I mean, the man in charge, the head nigger in charge. That's him. That's it. Those two. That's what we have. Now, of course, because of pressure, because we've been asking for updates on what is going on with his new government since we had elections, a press release was sent. Some kind of how, supposed to be a press release from Dr. Luke Mercelina, leader of the URSM and the formateur. It's reading time. Should I read it or let the AI read it? I will read it because I do the best Luke Mercelina impression. Okay, let me turn around. Okay. Had to powder my nose. Let me start off with the following. Dr. Luke Mercelina gives update on formation, March 28th, which is the deadline. Today was the deadline for the final report to be given to the governor, Ajamo Bailey. However, this did not take place because it's the 28th and St. Martin people like last minute. Therefore, we asked for what? More time. More time on the time we already have. I swear to God, when God come down and tell us, hey, we need to go, you're gonna be like, but wait, hold on, no, give me a few, let me come back. I ain't ready. As appointed formateur, as appointed the formateur, Dr. Luke Mercelina, I recognize the growing concern among the public regarding the time of the swearing-in ceremony for the members of the new Council of Ministers. Today, March 28, 2024, I have provided His Excellency, the Governor of St. Martin, with the latest developments in my role as formateur. In light of our commitment and transparency, I deem appropriate to offer the public an update on the ongoing formation process. Firstly, it is crucial to understand the dual nature of the formateur mandate. Initially, I am asked with ascertaining the presence of the parliamentary majority to establish a new government. Subsequently, the formateur is responsible for submitting the outcomes of the screening process, ensuring eligibility of candidate ministers, thus paving the way for swearing-in ceremony. I am pleased to confirm that aspect as the mandate I have been fulfilled. The coalition majority ratified a political agreement on January the 12th, 2024, followed by the endorsement of Governing Accord February 21, 2024. Additionally, the nominate candidate ministers continue to await the outcome of the screening with all necessary information duly furnished to the relevant authorities, being the Prosecutor General and the VDSM as stipulated by national decree. This is where it gets annoying. The second phase of the assignment mandates the formateur to await the screening results from the designated institution, as neither the formateur nor the governor possesses the authority to intervene in the process. It is pertinent to note that the national decree does not specify a timeline for the completion of these screenings. To provide context, historical data indicates an average duration of almost 2 months between the swearing-in of parliamentary members and the inauguration of the Council of Ministers. For instance, following the 2020 elections, while parliamentary members were sworn in on February 10, 2020, the Council of Ministers took office on March 28, 2020. In light of the recent elections, where parliamentary members were sworn in on February 10th, adhering to the aforementioned average timeline would entail the swearing in of the new Council of Ministers, by example, April 10th. Notably, this calculation includes the 2-week period allotted for informateurs, although in this instance, the formation process commenced directly with the appointment of the formateur. In conclusion, I wish to assure the public that both the formateur and the newly formed majority remain steadfast in their commitment and swear in the new Council of Ministers. Our collective aim is to commence governance in the best interest of the people of St. Martin. Signed, Dr. Luke Mercelina, formateur. The governor saw the bullshit. The governor was like, oh, no. You don't get to blame me, nigga. No. And the press release from the governor was simple and straightforward and to the point. His Excellency Governor Ajuma Bailey met with formateur Luke Mercelina on Thursday and received an update on the formation. The formateur requested additional extension to present Governor Bailey with the final formation report as the background screening of the candidate ministers is presently still ongoing. Taking this into account, Governor Bailey granted the commission for Dr. Mercelina to present him the final report by April 26, 2024. The end. So one side, It is important that we all come together and realize that this process will take time, and the time that it takes for this process will continue to slide from one side to the other, from one moon to the other, from the Dutch side to the French side, because we're over the world. Say when you hear an island then, so lovely small in nature's free, and you're like, wait, what going on? You pass the screening? Who passes the screening? We're gonna have a government? Somebody tell me something. On the other side, governor like, Pana ask for more time. I say, okay, cool, bet. The end. Dr. Messalina is showing his inexperience. Like the young people would say, it's giving inexperience. For the life of me, I don't get why this man don't get some experienced negotiators, some experienced politicians, and, have a conversation, get feedback. Instead, my boy still busy being a doctor at the Semata Medical Center while he's supposed to be forming the government. Like a whole doctor, full schedule, per normal. Schedule your appointment to see Dr. Messalina because he's going to check you. Is this a good start? Yes, it is. Because then I have content for every single day for late night. So continue, Doc. But I think at some point, you have to decide what we're going to do. We're going to continue messing around, or we're going to run a country. Because are you playing parliamentarian in budget meetings and want to tell outgoing ministers about themselves when you're supposed to have your ministers there? And the outgoing minister is supposed to be home. And the members who are members of the Council of Ministers and are parliamentarians supposed to be just parliamentarians in opposition, screaming at every single thing that you are doing wrong, because you know how it is with opposition. Like I said, this was a cute tactic of stating that more time is needed, and you didn't know what to tell St. Martin, so you're like, you know what? Let me blow smoke up their ass. Let me just tell them we working. Basically, everything that I've been saying for the past 3 weeks, take them in. Take almost there. Take on reach. And reaching. Almost had it. And then he comes over with a press release. You know what? Let me break my silence and let me tell the people. Take them in. What am I doing here? St. Martin's supposed to be a real place. All right. Time for a commercial break. When we come back, more late night. Stay with us.
Hello and welcome to SXM Taxi, the most convenient way to hail a taxi on St. Martin. Our app is strictly dedicated to licensed taxi drivers only on the island of St. Martin. You must have an active authorized taxi license and driver's license to be approved to use our service. Our app is designed for the convenience of both customers and drivers. Customers simply download the app, upload a credit card, and have immediate access to any driver available nearby. Once you sign up and are approved to drive, you can choose when you want to use the app, by toggling the switch at the top center of your screen to either online or offline. When you are online, you will be alerted for passenger pickups in your area, be visible to riders, and be able to accept rides. When you are offline, you will not receive alerts and you will be invisible to riders. This feature is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to use at your discretion, making the app extremely flexible and user-friendly for the driver. Once the rider requests a taxi, a notification is sent to all drivers in the vicinity. The first available driver to accept the ride gets the fare. Once you are alerted of a potential fare, you can accept the trip by clicking the Accept button at the bottom of your screen. The app's built-in GPS feature will then guide you directly to the rider's location. By clicking the 3 dots in the upper right-hand corner of your screen, you can choose from 3 different GPS integrations: Apple Maps, Google Maps, or Waze. This feature gives you the ability to use the GPS platform you are most comfortable with. Please keep in mind that you must download the GPS app that you prefer separately onto your phone in order to use this feature. We recommend downloading the Waze GPS app for best results, as we find it to be the most accurate and up-to-date GPS platform. Once you arrive at your passenger pickup point, slide the Mark Arrived arrow at the bottom of your screen. For added security, the app will require you to enter either the last 4 digits of the passenger's phone number or an OTP code that was provided to the rider. This built-in safety feature protects drivers from unwanted or incorrect passengers. Once you enter the correct code, the ride can start by swiping the slide to begin arrow on the bottom of your screen. Once the trip is complete, simply swipe the slide to end ride arrow on the bottom of your screen. The fare is automatically calculated and charged to the rider's credit card. You are now ready and available for your next ride. Driver sign-up bonus fees. All drivers that sign up to use our service will receive an additional 10% booking fee for every fare booked with the app through 2025. In addition, the first 100 drivers that use our service and reach their 100th ride milestone with SXM Taxi will receive a one-time $500 bonus fee.
Did you know I just signed up for Flex by Telecom?
Do you mean flex like this?
Definitely not that.
Do you mean flex like this?
No, definitely not that.
Do you mean flex like this?
No, definitely not Flex like that. Telecom's Flex is a mobile plan that adapts to your needs. Each month, I get a preset monthly fee that has a set amount of data, SMS, and minutes. So I know what I'm getting. But say goodbye to overages and bill shock, because when I go over my postpaid plan, it switches to prepaid. So I have the flexibility to top up what I need when I need it. I'm in complete control. My budget, my rules.
Hello, my people. Make sure you tune in to Sit, Sip, and Chat every Monday at 5 p.m. on TV 15 and every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m.
And make sure tune in to the late night show with Andrew Dick from Monday to Friday at 10 p.m. with a repeat in the afternoon for no reason. In the afternoon, the late night show at 3 p.m. Thank you, TV 15.
Thank you, TV 15. Make sure to tune in
Make sure tune in to the late night.
and Sit, Sip, and Chat.
Late night. Coming to you from the Parliament building of St. Martin. Of course, it's all about what we call Budget 2024, the showdown. It goes down right here in Parliament. Of course, in Parliament, everything is fair game. Everything is about, the show. It's about making sure that people are informed, yet even though they are the ones who have to inform us, and they were supposed to be the ones that are informed, if it makes sense? No, because we're in front of the Parliament building of St. Martin. Now, of course, ministers are on deck, meaning that they are here. They have also the members of Parliament. The only one that's not here, I believe, is Minister Doran, who's still missing. Pete, you still got a flyer? He's missing still. I can't find him. Somebody tell me where Minister Doran is. Where Doran is. Remember years ago they had something called Where Waldo? I know, are you too young to know where Waldo is, right? Well, we're going on with Waldo, but where Doran? That's what I want to know. Anyway, we're going to give you some highlights of the meeting today. We started yesterday, Wednesday. Today is Thursday. We're going to give you another segment on Friday because there's a lot of them. So let me start off with the first showboxers, the first show-offs. So we're going to start off with the first set.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all for being present today. Thank you, ministers, for today for the presentation. I would dive straight into the questions one time. I don't have much questions because maybe it's round two. But for the first question is to Minister of Finance. Can you, Minister, provide Parliament with an update of the tax reform and what is the current status and what are the timelines? Number two, a lot has been said about compliance and collection, whereby taxes have increased compared to 2023 budget and by 42 million guilders. I would like to know whether there are any update on discussion between the government and RTS. Can the minister please give me an update on the new stickers that have been provided instead of the new plates or the current figures to compare with last year's road tax payment? Why is it not possible to request for tax exemption structure anymore if the law is still in the Council of Vice? Why is the structure removed? This is question for number Minister Vromi. It's a question that my MP asked, MP Kevin McGrath. It's a question to relate to the serious traffic problems on the island. I wonder the minister can give me some kind of outline or medium or long term to address it, because to be frank, the people of St. Martin need more roads, I must say, because we don't have enough roads. What is the plan and process from the, I think it's Dutch Quarter to St. Peter's, is that correct, and also the order from Margaret to St. Peter's? As the only question, honestly, from Minister of Tourism. The following question is about the tourist tax. How will it be implemented? Will it be placed by the airport or harbor? Will it be by the departure hall, the arrival hall? Who's getting these revenues from the tax reform? The government or the airport or the harbor? Will the tax taxes be included in the tickets? What was the private sector consultant regarding this tax? And where can the public view this law? And also, this is a statement for either the incoming government or coming in. During Christmas time, we see the lack of Christmas decoration. Yes, we have wrong about decoration, I believe. I believe that we as a government should provide more for the country of St. Martin, for the people of St. Martin, towards the increasing of Christmas spirit to the island. People want to see more liveliness. I also believe it should be in regards to celebration of St. Martin Day also. I understand that times are hard for everyone, but we should try to at least give back to our people of St. Martin. Let us take an example for our neighbor islands for the front side. How beautiful it was for the Christmas. How they will light up. Minister of Finance, Mr. Versa, I don't have much for you. Only one question. Pertaining to the minister, I have received different complaints from therapists that they continue to receive payments from SVB late. Are you aware of this? And if so, what do you do to address this matter? Minister of Justice, are there any plans put in place to ensure the safety of everyone during the carnival season, especially seeing that what happened during the jump up, such as street lights and extra pay for the officers, and also once again, I have to spotlight this minister. Are there any anything for the fights for up at the school, the camera for districts? We have protectors to protect our students, and also like we see by the Ebenezer side there, by the playground. People vandalizing the playground and all these things. If you could pour a spotlight up there. And also for 3, I have noticed in the coming for the new prison, also does not include any girls under the age of 18. What will be done for this group? They have no cells. There are also no institutes put for minor female penetrative detention for serious crime. When will it be handled? Are there any plans between the Minister of Justice, Versa, and Education to tackle the lack of social institutions or troubled youths? And what are the temporary solutions? That will be all for now.
Thank you, MP Arundel. And as I look to my left, I see that our next speaker is MP Kevin Mingret. MP Mingret, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Pleasant good afternoon to your honorable ministers. Pleasant good afternoon to everybody in the Tribune and to my MP colleagues and everybody who's watching via social media platform. Through you, Madam Chair, I have a couple questions posed to the ministers, starting with the Minister of Romy. The ministry has reported the completion and progress of several housing projects. Could you inform us of the income range targeted to these social housing initiatives? Additionally, is there a rent-to-own option available for potential homeowners? Within the allocated budget of $8.6 million, are there plans to construct new roads? If so, could you outline these plans? With respect to road repairs, are there specific plans to implement proper drainage systems to address the long-standing issues of water accumulation? Through you, Madam Chair, this is a question posed to the Minister of Justice. Turning Point has disclosed a funding of $1.55 thousand USD. Would it be possible to provide a detailed report on the allocation and expenditure of these funds? Does Turning Point cater to both men and women? Furthermore, are there plans for expansion focusing specifically on services for women and young girls? Is Turning Point the sole organization offering assistance for substance abuse? If not, do other such organizations also receive government subsidies? And could an alternative strategy be expanding existing services instead of Turning Point? Can the minister indicate what percent of the $26 million slated for administrative costs for UNOPS? Through you, Madam Chair, this is a question for the Prime Minister. Can you provide an outline on all NRPB, the start date of projects, guiding ministries, commitments, and the remaining balance per project? Through you, Madam Chair, this is a Question for all the ministers, and my last question is, could each ministry provide a current update on the status percentage of financial commitment fulfilled for all their capital expenditure, the CapEx projects? That'll be all, Madam Chair. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair Lady. Good afternoon to our Secretary General. Good afternoon to the ministers, my colleagues, and a few of you in the Tribune and those listening and viewing online. Madam Chair Lady, I just have questions for 3 ministers today. You're one, yes? Starting with you, Minister of Finance. Yes, 3 ministers, just a few questions, actually some clarifications based on the final report that we received. And of course, yes, I will be starting with the Minister of Finance and Madam Chair Lady with regards to the cadastre, mainly that. I've listened to the Minister of Finance during the Central Committee meeting and read his answers in the report. I want to remind the Minister through you, Madam Chair Lady, that of that letter I sent via the Chair on July 5th, 2023, stating my serious concerns about the financial viability of the cadastre and the aforementioned handling of the organization by the Minister and Supervisory Board. I have the letter here. Well, yes, I have it. I have it with me, printed. The reference of that letter is UV/204/2022-2023. And I don't recall receiving ever a response to that letter. And Madam Chair, based on that, on the answers provided by the Minister during the question hour, as well as the information provided to my colleagues and I during that closed-door meeting with the Managing Board of the cadastre last year, I am now even more concerned and convinced that something is seriously wrong when it comes to the manner in which the Minister and the Supervisory Board has dealt with the cadastre and its Managing Board for the past few years. This includes flagrant breaches of corporate governance principles where the Supervisory Board oversteps its authorities and attempts to assume the role of the Managing Board. Based on the answers provided by the Minister, I conclude that in addition to the questionable timing of the reappointments and regardless of the advice of the Corporate Governance Council, there appear to be conflicts of interest with at least 2 of the current members of the Supervisory Board. I also concluded that the Minister seems to have retroactively used a legal trick to allow what technically is a second reappointment or third appointment of members of the Supervisory Board, using this legal trick retroactively, annulling appointments and making another appointment allows government to reappoint Supervisory Board members and reappoint them infinitely. My next conclusion is that despite the projected negative financial ramifications for cadastre to hire a CFO and a COO, as mentioned in my letter of July 5th, the recruitment process has continued and will be finalized soon for the CFO. Madam Chair Lady, through you, in order to get more clarity on what exactly has been going on at the cadastre, and with reference to its articles of incorporation and my letter of July 5th, 2023, I hereby request the Minister via the Supervisory Board or otherwise to provide Parliament with the following information for clarification purposes. Through you, Madam Chair Lady, can the Minister of Finance please provide Parliament with the written legal advice based on which reappointments of the Supervisory Boards took place, the reasons there was a need to reappoint members of the Supervisory Board effective April 1st, 2023 in the first place, when it was well known that their term would end on March 30th, 2023, and the Minister, therefore, could and should have started the recruitment process in a timely manner, and also provide information, a written substantiation of the Supervisory Board to recruit a CFO and COO, and the opinion and advices of the Managing Director to the Supervisory Board on this matter. My next question through you, Madam Chair Lady, I'll leave it at that for the Minister of Finance. My next question through you is to the Minister of General Affairs. Clarifications for the most. After reviewing the answers provided, I have a question for the Honorable Prime Minister, and it's regarding my inquiry to whether there has been an increase in the fuel throughput over the last decade. According to GB's response, they stated no, to the best of their knowledge. However, this response has left me a bit perplexed. My first question is, was the Port of St. Martin contacted to assist with some of these questions? Yes or no? Because as far as my research entails, the port's fee, throughput fee, is less than 1 cent, 0.0044 to be exact, and that has maintained that price fixed for the over 10 years. That price has maintained like that for the over 10 years. Therefore, I reiterate my query. Has there been any escalation in the fuel clause over the past 10 years? And if so, how is it possible that there has been no increase in the throughput fee while there has been an increase in the fuel clause? If this hasn't been increased if there hasn't been an increase in the throughput over the past 10 years, then Prime Minister, through you, Madam Chair Lady, why was there a claim that the fuel clause increased due to port fees? That's the one clarification I have. My last set of questions is to, who else? The Minister of TIAT. Madam Chair Lady, through you, I'd like to ask the Honourable Minister some questions because some of the answers provided in the report was still a bit vague for me. And one of those was about the Met Office, the Civil Aviation Architectural Drawing that was funded by the NRPB. Could the Minister, through you, clarify its relevance to the Princess Juliana International Airport regaining its Category 1? Is there any relevancy in that? If the building construction is linked to the airport's Category 1 rating, and what percentage of significance does this particular infrastructure hold in achieving and maintaining that desired rating? Could the Minister, through you, Madam Chair Lady, provide a comprehensive breakdown of phases, steps, estimated timelines for the completion of the Met Office, the Civil Aviation Building Project? Additionally, can the Minister please provide the proposed budget allocation for this project? I think I have it already, but still state it for the record, if please. And who owns the land on which the Met Office Aviation Building will be constructed? And has the cost of the land been factored into the total cost of the project? Are we leasing the land? Are we buying the land? Are we getting the land for free? I just need some clarity there. Regarding the new market vendors place, another thing that was pretty vague for me, the last we heard, there was just 2 signatures and something, and then it was a bit vague for me. So I have a few questions here, specific questions. What steps has been undertaken thus far for the development of the new market vendors place, from site selection to the completion of the architectural drawings, obtaining a letter of intent, and commitment for the opening and launch? Has consultations been held with all existing vendors regarding the new marketplace marketplace? How many vendors will the facility accommodate? How many vendors have been approached? And what level of interest have they expressed in securing a location in the proposed venue? Regarding the committed tourism product improvement plan, another subject. What specific strategies or initiatives are included, and how do stakeholders plan to ensure its successful implementation and impact on enhancing the visitor's experience? Additionally, could the Minister, through you, Madam Chair Lady, provide details on the allocations of the budgeted 2.5 million guilders, including which activities it is committed to? Furthermore, how much of the capital expenditure, the CapEx then, was already committed and spent in 2023, specifying the projects involved? And lastly, Madam Chair, my last question for round 1, Madam Chair, is there a comprehensive plan in place for each project within the improvement plan? Thank you, Madam Chair Lady.
So what is Parliament without drama? Drama, 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 drama. We continue with drama. Let's go to drama piece number 1.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair, and good afternoon to everyone. I only have a few questions, Madam Chair, so I'm going to dive right into them. Madam Chair, I'm going to start with the Minister of VSR. But we already had a little discussion concerning some things I wanted to ask him. And Madam Chair, through you, it's mainly pertaining to the hospital, coming back to it again. I know the Minister is stuck on his timeline when he believes it's going to be complete. But in that discussion, something came up, and I start to think about it. And Minister, through you, Madam Chair, to the Minister, is concerning the helipad. I know you didn't elaborate a bit much on it, but you also made mention that in this construction, there's going to be a helipad. I would like to know if the hospital itself is going to own that portion of the helipad, and if the answer to that is yes, then the next question will be, do we have a helicopter? When the other serious accident is from the road or wherever it's at, ambulance picks up to the hospital, and then from the hospital to the airport, if the individual have to be flown out. So they'll be flown out through that way. You know, in certain places, because of emergencies, traffic backed up, the helicopter can land somewhere, get the person on board, and rush them to the hospital one time. I don't think that is the use of it, because there's nowhere else on the island that it will be able to land. So I'm trying to get a gist of the use of the helipad and the helicopter for what it really will be used for. I also want to know, does this tie in also, Madam Chair, with the medical alliance that all the islands now is part of? Would we be evacuating people, not evacuating, but would we be bringing people also from Sabre and Statia, okay, in emergencies? And who will be paying for that? And what's the cost of it? So what I'm trying to get at, Minister, through you, Madam Chair, is the real cost, one, and the use of the helipad and the helicopter and whoever all is going to be using it, and what the cost of it would be. And then a different question to that. Do you believe that vaping and vaping products should be banned in St. Martin? And if your answer is yes, can you elaborate why? And if your answer is no, can you also elaborate why? Thank you very much. Madam Chair, I also have a few questions as well for the Minister of Justice. I would like to understand, Minister, through you, can you give an explanation on all that it takes to grant a permit for an event? What all does it take? Because listening to your radio interview, you said there's a number of individuals or institutions that needs to be taken into consideration. For example, the police department. And you need to look also at if there's going to be any sort of emergencies or anything that can happen. So I would like to know, what does it take to grant a permit for an event? Minister, can you explain, or can you sort of give an explanation what it is that constitute the central bank giving dividends to St. Martin? How does that work? Because the chairlady one time said, if you're going to give dividends, you must be able to give it from having something. Madam Chair, also.
That is it for the late night show. Thank you so much for watching. Until tomorrow, do have a safe and pleasant one. And don't forget, tomorrow, when you go to work, go on time.